You know, there's another point to the show before you start doing this. We're doing this already.
Listen, I've got 155 models. I need to get a head start on deployment, so I'm just going to do it right now.
Just get over here first. Come on. We got time. We got
Right,
all night. We got all
We do
night.
not.
I got a futon for you, man, if you really need it.
So generous.
Well, while Lane is unpacking his models, welcome back, all my 40K fanatics out there. I'm DJ here with Tim's Nation, and today we're bringing you a very interesting battle. Oh, look who we're joined by today. Mr. Lane, not playing Custodes, not playing Votan, playing his Death Guard.
Death Guard.
And what is so unique about this Death Guard? What is compelling you that you are so much time consuming?
I've got 120 Poxwalkers today. That's going to be the thing today. Last week we did 100 Necron Warriors. This
99
week,
problems. My Warriors ain't one. Hit me.
So yeah, it's Poxwalkers today. Plus, I got a couple weird dreadnoughts that I haven't gotten to play very often. A couple weird conversions / third-party Forge World dreadnoughts. A Deredeo and a Leviathan. So those will be fun to put on the table too.
Nice. Yes. And I will be playing AdMech because, well, one, we took a vote and seen what army was wanting to be featured versus the Poxwalkers. Lane begged me. He's having some PTS after 100 Warriors. He's like, please, I do not want to see another Necron till 10th edition.
I need a break. Yeah.
He needed a little break from it, which I understand. I literally doubled my infantry that game.
Mm-hmm.
But the vote was for AdMech, which we both had a battle with. The only time Death Guard has been on the channel was against my AdMech, where my Mechanicus lost. But we're not done yet.
That's totally different, though. I was all vehicles. You were all vehicles then.
Now we're all infantry.
Yeah, it's all infantry.
And also, there's something on this planet that we want. So Call is coming in.
All right.
He's heard the calling. So today it will be Jawas versus zombies.
Heck yeah.
Awesome. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do. Turn on the bell for notifications so you can get notified on both of our army descriptions, as well as the post wrap-up and all of the 10th edition content we'll cover as things come out. Not a lot for our factions have been hitting lately, but we're going to see some soon. I'm still waiting on the Grey Knight teaser. You got Death Watch. We got Custodes coming up soon.
Yeah, Custodes is tomorrow, I think.
Custodes is tomorrow, yeah, actually. So by the time we're recording this, for us at this point in time, it will be tomorrow. Of course, they won't see this till Wednesday. But hopefully we'll see some good stuff in there, you know, for the Custodes so they can play and not have to wait forever for a codex like they did prior, even though they were rough. They were really rough without a codex. Their previous codex going into 9th edition was actually one that held a lot of weight for a while on that. That was solid for them, just for how they were using the rules differently than how every other army was using them.
Yeah.
But enough about Custodes. We saw them last week. Today, we're not looking at Custodes. Today, we are looking at
This is the opposite.
Exactly.
The Custodes are so shiny and clean. Today, it's the dirtiest boys in the galaxy.
The dirtiest of the dirty, the infested, festering.
The dirtiest and then the rustiest?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, this is really one of those games, isn't it? All right. Well, Lane, without further ado, why don't you inform the people of the wonderful horde that you will be bringing for us today?
All right, kiddos, if you want to know the details, we do have our separate army list videos we go into. I'm just going to go through these really quickly here right now. First, we are Death Guard. We are the Harbingers Plague Company. I'm just using that for the stratagem. The stratagem that for 1 CP, pick a Poxwalker unit and they can reroll all hits in combat. That can pair really nicely with the stratagem for the Poxwalkers that makes 6s to hit generate mortals with no cap on that. So we'll see if that comes into play this game. Now, as for HQs, we just got one character today. It's Typhus. The reason I'm bringing him, he's got a couple of psychic powers that he can do. I gave him Miasma of Pestilence and Putrescent Vitality. But his thing is he actually buffs the Poxwalkers. He gives them +1 strength when they're fighting, as long as the unit's within 6 inches of him. So he'll be moving right up with the Poxwalkers and make them a little extra strong. When it comes to troops, I've got 12 troop choices, guys. The reason we're doing this is because each squad of Poxwalkers, in order to take a squad of Poxwalkers, you have to take a squad of some type of Marine, either Plague Marines, Blightlord Terminators, or Death Shroud Terminators. So I have got 6 5-man squads of Plague Marines. These are WYSIWYG with a variety of equipment. Today I'm just using whatever models I have. I know you can max out the number of special weapons and close combat weapons you have in them, but we're just going to be calling it like we see it on the table here. So whatever it is, WYSIWYG is what it's got. Then we've got 6 20-man units of Poxwalkers. So the Poxies are going to be all over the place. So between Plague Marines and Poxwalkers, I've got 150 models that I'll be putting out here on the table. In addition to that, our fast attacks, we just have one little Myphetic Blight Hauler. These guys are great, and I like to run them in larger squads. I can take up to 9 because they can come in 3-man squads. But today I just got one just to fill out some points and have another vehicle that might be able to do a little bit of damage to DJ's vehicles. Then we've got 3 elites. I've got a Hellbrute. He's got a Twin Heavy Bolter and a Hellbrute Fist. And then we've got a Chaos Deredeo Dreadnought. He has the Anvilus autocannon array, the Borealis air defense missiles, and a Twin Heavy Bolter. And we also have a Chaos Leviathan Dreadnought. He has the Grav Flux Bombard. He's got the Storm Cannon, and he's got 2 Twin Volkite Calivers. Puts out a ton of shots. I had a couple extra points left over, so I put 200 killer missiles on him. Those are the one-shot ones that are super strong. So that is what the Death Guard I'm bringing today.
All right, so now over to my Mechanicus. Now I'm going to try and roll through this pretty quickly because if I sit here and go through each individual ability, it's going to be a mess. Because anyone who knows AdMech, we love to stack a whole bunch of random Holy Orders and Warlord traits and all that stuff. So today my detachment is Mars, one that I personally am not very familiar with. I usually run Lucius, but I wanted to bring Belzerius Call to possibly go one-on-one with Typhus at some point because why not? And I love my call model. So this is Mars. Mars has the Wrath of Mars strat to do mortal wounds and shooting, as well as the fact that we get to reroll 1 to hit dice, and my Skitarii units also get the Cataclysms of Amasaya, as well as the Doctrina. Moving over to the units, we got 2 20-man squads of Rangers just coming stock with Galvatic rifles, and they will have the Omni specs on both of them. 2 10-man squads of Vanguard that have enhanced data tethers, because I'm going to be moving them up the board a little more. Then I have 2 5-man squads of Infiltrators. One of the Infiltrators is going to have the Tempercora, and that'll give him the fight first effects. 2 5-man squads of Taraxes, the Sterilizers, excuse me. I got to bring Flamers. We got zombies. What's the best way to take care of a zombie? Burn it to the ground. Then over into my heavies. Oh, one more troop that I had that I forgot. My Cataphram Breachers. I brought the Breachers because I like them. They're fun. They're not that great. Their stats, they got good stats, but they don't have a lot of good support. You know, it's just kind of rough with them right now. They're in a rough state, but this seems like a good time to put them on the table. I like these models. They're little conversions that I have. Over into my heavy supports, the only vehicles in this army, the Castellan robots. I stuck with the robots. I was back and forth on robots or Dragoons, but with Belzerius Call, I said, what is a better bodyguard for Belzerius Call than 5 robots? So I went that route. 2 of them are punchy, 3 of them are shooty, and that's what we're going to run with. Over into my characters, I had 5 characters, 1 Datasmith, which basically translates to pay 35 points to have my robots get core. Then you have the Dominus. The Tech Priest Dominus is also going to be of the Logi Holy Order to give ignore AP 1s and 2s. I took a Manipulus, who is going to be of the Artisan Holy Order, going to complete that action so that I can give +1 strength to a unit's guns. You have the Marshal, who is going to have he has a Warlord trait to be able to give the Count as cover, the fire point telemetry for Count as cover, or if they're in cover already, they get +1 to their save. He also has the Relic, so that not only is giving reroll 1s to wound, he also gives reroll 1s to hit to Skitarii core units within range of him. And last, but certainly not least, the man, the myth, the legend, Belzerius Call. Belzerius Call is stock. No Warlord trait for him today, although he is the Warlord. So he's going to hopefully be able to buff up some of my units, make them more powerful, and then get in there and introduce Mr. Typhus of his hive to my Mechadroid hive. That's what I want to finish him off with. Hive on hive action in here. All right, so Lane, what are you doing for secondaries today?
Well, I'm going to try to assassinate. I don't know how that's going to go. I don't have that much damage output, I think, but you do have some characters for me, and I might just be able to swarm into you with a whole bunch of Poxwalkers, get in there and take care of the units that are going to be protecting those characters and get into them. So I will be taking Assassinate. In addition to that, no prisoners. You gave me lots of infantry that I can dig into as well. So we'll see how that goes. And then finally, I'm taking Spread the Sickness. This is a Death Guard specific one. Basically, if I do an action that's in my deployment zone on an objective, I get 3 points. If it's on an objective outside my deployment zone, it's 4 points. Poxwalkers normally can't do any actions, but they can do this one. So I can do that with Plague Marines. I can do that with Poxwalkers, or really, yeah, that's it.
Would you say that your army is down with the sickness?
Sure. If you'd like to say that, you can say that.
I love to say that. And I bet every Death Guard player who's ever played Death Guard is sick and tired of hearing that one. For my secondaries, I'm going to do retrieve battlefield data. I got a lot of infantry, a lot of random units. So I think that one is one that I can successfully at least get 8 on by the end of the game. Some units that are very quick that I can pop into the backfield. Mm-hmm. No prisoners because, hell, what's your wound count again?
Oh, geez, 120 Poxwalkers.
It's 120
30 Marines, that's 60. It's 180. Plus some of the Poxwalkers will come back.
Exactly. So that seems like a good one. And then last, I'm going to do Hidden Archaeovaults because that's really a good theme point with my army where I'm trying to get something off of the planet. There's something here that I want. So that's a big one that I think is just kind of important for the thematic feel of this. Now, thematic feel. I want to touch on that for a bit because some people might look at this and look at the armies and go, okay, I get it. He's playing 120 Poxwalkers, but why am I not running just a bunch of vehicles and stuff like that? What fun would that be? So one of the things that's really nice with Warhammer in general is you can, based on the people you play against, you could kind of pick the environment and what you try and do. With this, Poxwalkers have not been competitive at all. I mean, Death Guard has struggled as well at being one of the lower tier armies in general. So it wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be entertaining. And what kind of video would it be for you to bring the Poxwalkers on the channel, walk into a wall of robots and machines, I kill everything and go, hey, thanks for driving out here, recording this game of me just mopping the floor with you.
It'll be done nice and quick.
Well, yeah, that's and that one I'm sure you'd appreciate. However, it's not going to be fun.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things, like when I went into building this army, it was kind of a new, unique feeling. I was actually looking at the opposite of what we do for competitive and go, what secondaries can I give you to score to make sure that you had stuff that was not just like, oh, I want to give you secondaries, but I want to give you secondaries to score that fits the army you're playing. Mindless zombies. That's why I wanted to get my no prisoner count up there so that no prisoners was compelling for you. The same with Assassinate. I'm not trying to draw you into it because a lot of my units have close range stuff. So when you break through those ranks, you could pick up those characters. So, and that's what I'm hoping for is like, it comes down to what we know with zombies. And that is if I can hold you back, clear you, stop you, hold the line, then you don't get my characters. You don't score those points. But if I can't do so, well, guess what? You may have a Bilzerius Call zombie at the end of this whole thing.
Oh, that'd be delicious.
That would be terrible. Every AdMech player in the world would hate me at that point. So I think that is roughly about it. Now, Lane has already started to deploy his army. So in this one, we are actually not going to roll the pregame dice. Instead, Lane, we're going to do it this way. Odd or even?
Even.
You say even? Shucks, it was odd. I guess you have to deploy first.
I guess I do.
Guys, we'll be back after deployment. All right, only 3 hours later, and we are deployed. So let's start over here with the main attraction of this matchup, the 120 Poxwalkers. And if you're wondering what that looked like on a deployment zone, yeah, that's what it looks like.
This is the biggest deployment zone, I think, in the book, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
We flipped through the book, like which one gives us the most space?
Exactly.
So my strategy was to fit everything in the deployment zone. Nothing goes in reserves.
Exactly. So I don't mean this to be insulting, but did you really put much thought into strategically how you deployed everything, or was it kind of just like, this is where it's all going?
You're going to get some zombie noises out of me today.
That's what
Sometimes the response will be brains. Now, I just wanted to get Poxwalkers up on the line so they can start moving. Plague Marines kind of in the middle. I do want to start doing the mission secondary is the Auspex scan. So we want to do actions on objectives. And I also took a secondary where I do actions on objectives. So I just want to get infantry out there to start doing actions. We're going to need that. And just to make sure my dreadnoughts were kind of hidden a little bit so they don't take too much shooting turn one before they can pop out and start putting some shots down table.
And now the Poxwalkers are allowed to spread the sickness, but they are not allowed to do other secondaries, correct?
Correct. They can't do any other actions.
Yeah, other action, I'm sorry. So yeah, so that's going to be, but you have plenty of them, like you said before, where you had to take Marines as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not short on units that can complete that action. And since you can only do it one time per objective marker, it's not that bad. Yeah. It's really not that bad.
No, and like I said, I have 6 squads of Plague Marines because I have to take 1 for each squad of Poxwalkers.
And we'll talk more about the mission scorings when we get over there, when we finish with the armies. But the last piece is now your opponent, the AdMech, which is also actually a rather large army.
Yeah,
not quite as vicious. There too. I got a little bit more room here in the back corner than you do, and I'm also everybody on board at this time. And so I just again, it was get everyone on there. I have a feeling I can kind of guess where my hidden Archeo Vault's going to be. And so I'm preparing to get over there. Rangers have a 3-inch pregame move, so I kind of set them up there with my infiltrators out, still behind terrain and in cover. Other infiltrators in here, so when units start pushing up to try to flank me, I have quick and easy answers, as well as Terexi able to leave and go off the board. And just some more infantry. I got the robots ready to try and take over center to be able to control and shoot down from there. So we'll see how this works out for me. I definitely have the firepower side of things on this, since Poxwalkers do not carry guns.
I mean, some of them are holding guns, but they don't shoot them; they swing them at you.
Exactly. They just look pretty. So yeah, there wasn't too much tech with what I'm trying to do. It was just focus onto the objective that I think the hidden Archeo Vault's going to be and get over there. So now with that all being said, Lane, why don't you talk to us a little bit about the mission that we decided to play with us today?
Okay, so we are doing the Scouring. So it's a hammer and anvil style deployment, going the long ways on the board or the short ways, however you want to say it. It is 5 objectives. We are holding 1, holding 2, holding more. It is the secondary is Auspex scan. So any unit from your army can do this action. They just scan an objective, do an action on an objective outside your deployment zone. On all the objectives are outside your deployment zone here. So, and each time you do that, it's 3 victory points. There are no special limitations to CP or anything. So it's just regular CP accumulation at the beginning of each command phase.
Awesome. So in this, Lane, do you have a preference going first or second?
First, I guess, might be able to shoot a few things.
All right. And Lane, you do pick my hidden Archeo Vault. Do I really need to ask you which objective marker it is?
Right there.
Yep. This beautiful one hiding behind the wall is going to be the one I have to go after for today.
Yep.
Ugh. All right, Lane. So let's see who is going first. That's a 2. That's a 3. Mr. Lane.
Guys in green are going first.
All right. I got a little bit of pregame move that I get to do with my Rangers, which is just going to be, I'll let everyone fill this in real quick. It's not going to be very, very crazy. I'm just going to move them 3 inches forward just to get them out of my zone and get ready to start moving up because, yeah, we got some work to do.
You've got some work to do.
Oh, do we have some work to do?
The longest journey begins with the first shambling, stumbling, groaning step. And so my Plague Marines or my Poxwalkers have just kind of lurched forward a little bit.
And required a command point to further advance.
Yeah, these guys up the middle, I wanted to advance onto this objective. So I did spend a CP. I started the game with 4, went up to 5, and spent 1 on re-rolling an advance roll to get onto that objective there. But I think it's a CP well spent. It's going to give me some primaries and force DJ to come get me if he wants to take me off of that. These Poxwalkers just kind of moved up here, and they are spreading the sickness. These Plague Marines are doing the Auspex scan on this objective. And then I just moved some Dreadnoughts and my Fennec Blight Hauler. The Blight Hauler came up and touched the terrain here, so he can shoot down and maybe hurt a robot a little bit. And these Dreadnoughts came over, and I'm just going to start shooting at warriors. Eventually, we're going to start eating these guys.
Rangers.
Rangers,
Man, I got
warriors,
that post-traumatic Necron has gotcha.
Kiddos. Yeah, I'm never going to be able to stop thinking about warriors.
They're in his nightmares forever.
So before Poxwalker started eating those guys, we're going to start shooting them a little bit, soften them up first.
So before we go
Tenderize
into
them a little bit.
and before we go into that, the Doctrina I picked, I'm going a little crazy with it. I am going to go +3 to my move or -1 to my save, and I am doing the additional dice for when I advance and charge, discarding the lowest. I won't with that where that hidden Archaeovault is. I need to push early and start picking up as many as I can as quick as I can. So, Lane, whenever you're ready, you may fire when ready.
Okay. Well, we don't have a ton of guns, but enough to pick up 17 of the Rangers from this squad. So there's only 3 left there. It's giving me some no prisoner points. During my psychic phase, I forgot to mention, I got miasma off on these Poxwalkers in the middle, so they're going to be -1 to hit. And that's about it. Scoring-wise, we did get our first point for no prisoners because we picked up 17 of them. We did spread the sickness once and did the Auspex scam once. So that'll be that. No assassination yet. I'll be surprised if I start getting that before turn 4.
All right, and we're on the move. So last couple of games have been very defensive for me. This time, we're going for it. We need to get rid of these zombies and get rid of them quick before they swarm the table, and then I'm in trouble. So with my boosted move, I was able to fly up the field, literally, with quite a lot of things. These guys did not have to advance to get into this position, so they will still be able to charge after I shoot and hopefully clear some stuff out of that objective. And then the rest of my army just kind of scooted towards the middle to get ready to play on the left or right, wherever I may need to. And then I'm really hitting home over here because, once again, that is my hidden Archaeovault, so I definitely need to do some damage in there. These Rangers in the middle have all the buffs. They're ignoring AP 1 and 2. They're ignoring the negative from my Doctrina. They are counting as cover, and since they're in cover, now they'll get +1 to save. These guys in the middle are basically going to be indestructible next turn, which is what I'm looking forward to try and be able to hold that center objective from the Poxwalkers. Oh, I should have a guy tagging that base. I need to fix that in a second. So that's going to be it, and we're going to try to do some shooting. The only action I did was I did retrieve battlefield data with these Vanguard over here, and yeah, that's going to be it, because the rest of it, I need my guns. I need my guns. Not too bad for the shooting phase. We were able to pick up a couple Poxwalkers out of here with some flamethrowers. And the Wrath of Mars helped us pick up some Marines over here, as well as some robot, and Call shot one down himself.
This is our dead pile for so far from just the shooting phase.
Yes, just from the shooting phase. We'll get over there to that in a minute, the dead pile. Like I said, these guys have every buff in the book, and I also used Galvanic Volley on them, and they just picked up the 20, man. It took 60 shots for me to be able to pick those guys up, but it was getting really close to needing the last one, because that was the one under the Miasma Pestilence, was it?
They were -1 to hit.
Picked up, I think I just got 1 Marine out of here, out of those Death Guard. So nothing too, it was just stray shots I had left over. And weren't as successful on these Plague Marines with enriched rounds. We're able to beat up some of the Poxwalkers, but probably not exactly how many I wanted going into this. But we got to keep pushing forward. We'll see what happens in here. And as Lane was saying, we are not done yet, but this is just what has died from just the shooting phase for zombies.
So many of my little babies.
All right, well, time to do some charges and see what I can pick up in the combat step. All right, quick recap for the turn. So I was able to pick up the Marine with ease with the Infiltrators, and wasn't able to quite clear the Poxwalkers. In return, they smacked my Sterilizers back, taking 2 guys down and getting 2 guys back themselves. So the rejuvenation has begun. Over in here, we'll go from this angle. We were able to clear the Poxwalkers. I spent the command point to get the exploding 5s and 6s for the Infiltrators, so they were able to pick up nicely. Taraxi finished off the rest. And with the Rangers being able to then move up on the objective, I'm able to take this for my hidden Archaeovault. So, to finish out the turn, first of all, let's show over here, because I do have no prisoners. This is 68 wounds. So I got 68, which will give me 7 points this turn in one turn.
And
for no
Archeo
prisoners.
Vaults is 5.
Is 5. I did get hidden Archeo Vaults back here in the corner, so I did score 5 on that. And yeah, I did only 1 retrieve battlefield data and started scoring some no prisoners. So this is a good scoring turn for me. I am going to push Lane onto a 4 on primary, but I put a lot of stuff up in his face that's going to be able. He's going to be able to kill and remove some stuff really quickly. So we will see what Lane does for his turn too.
Not a whole lot of movement for the Death Guard. We don't really have to. My enemy has come to me. The feast has moved in my direction, and now I'm going to try and get some Poxwalkers to gobble up some of these guys and make some new Poxwalkers. So, really, just position so we can charge here. I positioned these Plague Marines on the other side of the wall so they can charge and shut off the Overwatch for the Taraxi. The Taraxi have flamers, so if I charge them with these Poxwalkers first, I get Overwatch for a CP and pick up a bunch of them. But I'm going to charge with these Plague Marines first, so he can't Overwatch me through the wall. So keep me safe there. We brought back 3 of these Poxwalkers in the command phase. I roll 7d6 for 1 CP. I roll 7d6, and I bring back a 1 Poxwalker for each 3 up. Didn't roll very well, but still got a couple back. And then these guys just surged forward so they can charge into the Taraxi as well, who will not be able to Overwatch because they're already in engagement range. No actions this turn. Just really want to focus on killing for this turn and see if we can free ourselves up a little bit. Not a whole lot done in my shooting phase. I think we'll get some more results out of the fight phase here. Just picked up 1 of the, what are these things?
Cataphren Breachers.
Breachers. Picked up 1 of the Breachers. Did pick up 4 of the Infiltrators who had infiltrated into my deployment zone. And just a couple Rangers. So this is our shooting phase. No prisoners. Not as great as DJ's this turn. But I'm going to do some work here in the fight phase. So we'll be back in a minute.
All right, so we're moving over to the fight phase. And Lane has elected to fight with the Poxwalkers right over here first. So with these Poxwalkers, Lane has a strat that he was talking about ahead of time that we're going to get to see. So Lane, first, talk to me about this. What are we doing over here? You got 1 command point.
No, I've got 3. I rolled my die over after spending 2 CP for this fight.
Okay, it's 2 command points for it. That's what. Okay.
Yeah, 1 strat is the regular Death Guard strat that when I attack with Poxwalkers, each 6 to hit does a mortal to my opponent, and each 1 to hit does a mortal to myself. And then I also spent a CP for the Harbinger strat that lets the Poxwalkers reroll all their hits. So we're going to try and make it happen in this one.
And not kill yourself.
We're going to kill some Poxwalkers.
Oh.
But you know what? If we kill you, we're going to bring some Poxwalkers back. So it's all going to wash. This is 20 Poxwalkers swinging. So this will be 40.
40 attacks.
40,
2
yeah.
attacks of each.
So this is 20. We're going to do this twice.
All right. First set. Looking for, what do you need? 4s?
So 4s to hit you, but 6s are mortals in addition.
So they do the mortals right now.
6s hit are mortals, and they're in addition, so they still count as hits. Now I'm going to fish, so I'm going to go again.
All right, so we got 4 mortals so far.
Again.
6 mortals?
2 more mortals, and I did 2 to myself.
All right.
I'm going to keep track off to the side here. So mortals, we've done 6 so far, and then we've done 2. How about we do this? 6 is the ones I've done to you, and then we'll use this green die. For 2 is the ones I've done to myself.
All right. So there you go. So now you have...
Okay, so these are my hits. So I'm hitting you on 4, so I still get to roll to hit.
Yep. Strength.
Strength right now is
4. Either way, you're 3.
It's strength 4.
Toughness 3.
Yeah, strength 4 because they're within 6 of Typhus. So 3s to wound you. No AP here.
No rerolls either.
No. 3, 6, 9. Right. 9 wounds.
No AP.
No AP.
All right, so we're looking at 3s because of my Doctrina, and you are fighting the Taraxi, you said?
Yes.
All right, so we are looking at You got 1, 2. So we got 2 dead so far. So I'm going to lose 2 out of that. And now you got 1 more cycle to go.
Plus there were 6 mortals.
Ah, but mortal wounds are not done until after.
What, you fight on death or something?
No, just the fact that you might kill some of your own guys.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So you have to attack. So basically, as of right now, the squad is dead. So, but that is knowledge and information you wouldn't have had. So you have to roll it out. But just to see if you kill any poxwalkers. So now you only killed 2. Because yeah, I can't keep the squad alive because you did 6 mortals.
Well, being now that I have this information, I just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more mortals.
Holy crap.
I can reroll, so I'll just reroll the 1s and do 2 more mortals. So we definitely do that. I only take 2 mortals to myself.
And you got your feel no pains.
I get my 6 up, feel no pain. So we'll put those right there. 2 poxwalkers die. However, I killed 5 models, so I lose 2 poxwalkers. I gain 2 more back.
Yeah, and I don't really think that this that knowing that information affected that much, considering the fact that you could have just fished away from the ones, knowing how many volume of damage.
Yeah.
So, all right, you got a couple more things to fight with, don't you, sir?
Mm-hmm. Blessedly, fewer Taraxi left on the table.
0.
Yeah, 0 is fewer than what you started with.
Yes, 0.
Somehow there is a single lone ranger here who, thanks to cover, was just able to tank some armor saves. Didn't really get anybody to charge into him. I probably should have multi-charged him with the Plague Marines as well, but oh well. And then we also cleared off this objective, other than 1 lone infiltrator here who managed to survive a whole bunch of poxwalkers and a whole bunch of Plague Marines coming at him. That's it. I didn't get to do any actions this turn. I really just needed to clear these objectives off. But my no prisoners total for this turn was 38. Not quite as impressive as DJ's, but still a pretty solid secondary score for a turn. Now we're going to move over to DJ's turn and see what kind of work he can do.
All right, so robots be a running. So I use Belzeri's Call's ability to give these robots the catapult to let them charge a additional roll 3d6 when they charge and pick the highest, so we can get these guys across and over here to do some damage. Mr. Infiltrator fell back. Got hopeful plans for him later on in the game. These little Vanguard moved up on the objective. They're just going to scan that objective for this turn to get me a couple extra primary points. Even though I started off with a 12, I'll take whatever I can get. These Rangers, once again, have all the buffs. They have all the defensive buffs in the world, so they will be able to be chunky and try and shoot downwind. We'll see what we can hit and what we might be able to pick up. I think the only thing I'm really going to be able to shoot at is like either those poxwalkers in the back corner right here or the Plague Marines. But one of the two is going to get hit by a bunch of Rangers. Over here, my Breachers moved up. 2 of them are going to shoot that down range at that Dorito. And over here, we're going to hit these Plague Marines over here. Those guys, yep. And last but surely not least, we're gonna get a little epic with it. We're gonna get spicy. So there was 2 guys that are left alive, and there they are. And one of them is a Ranger who is objective security.
Troops choice.
Troops choice. Oh, that's what it is. So that means he's going to try and retrieve battlefield data.
Mm-hmm.
So if I roll a 1 or a 2, I retrieve battlefield data, and I score those points. So we're going to try it, see what happens. I think it's the end of the turn though, so I don't think I'm allowed to do it if I charge with him. Isn't it the end of the turn?
It completes at the end of the turn.
Completes at the end of the turn. When do I roll the dice at the end of the turn too? Well,
yeah.
We'll take a look at that. We're going to assume that I rolled dice at the end of the turn. We'll save that one. Well, we'll just do it now. Don't really matter that much.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
All right.
Here we go.
Show me that 6.
Blessings of our Messiahs. I need a 1 or a 2. Oh, it's a 5. Okay, so it didn't happen, but I have a couple other turns to be able to get those more reliably on other objectives. It was worth a shot. That might be the only opportunity I get at that corner, so we'll take it as we got it. All right, time to shoot some things. All right, so I was able to do a fair amount of damage in the shooting phase, but not pick up any full units. I don't think I got any full ones, did I? So I was able to shoot down and pick up 2 Marines from here, as well as a good big chunk of these Poxwalkers
Mhm.
going downwind from the Rangers. Both of my Trojan cannons hit, wounded, and then Lane just procced in bones for days with the Dorito.
Yeah, you got 4 wounds. I got 5. Hit 4 or 5 up in bones.
Yep. Was able to use the Mars Wrath of Mars strat on my last of the Vanguard, and they were able to pick up some of the Plague Marines over here. And yeah, oh, robots. Robot shot. They were able to pick up some of the Poxwalkers over here, but man, did I flub the to wound rolls. All I needed was 3s, and I could not. I hit a lot, just couldn't stick those 3s. So they flubbed there. Hopefully, they do a little better in combat. As we're going to move into that and try and pick up some models over here. Yes, this is not my hidden Archeo Vault, but at least I can start to clear that out for. I got to get some guys off the board so I can move over there. Otherwise, he's just going to swarm me again if I take it again. So, yeah, time to charge. All right, so robots were able to clobber the Plague Marines that they ran into, as well as most of the Poxwalkers, left 1 remaining. No objective secured over here, so I won't be able to take that objective from Lane. And then over here, we did double check into the rules on retrieve battlefield data, and I shouldn't have rolled for it when I did. But keeping that in mind, that meant I just left him there because otherwise, if he does anything, he fails it. And that was information I wouldn't have had. So the Ranger did fail to retrieve battlefield data. He tried, and well, he's about to have a new purpose, I think, if Lane has his way about it. Over here, we charged this last little Plague Marine. We're able to do 1 wound to him. He returned around and wasn't able to take me out. Again, I think Lane's going to eat him. And that is about it. So I did get a couple more points for no prisoners, and quite a bit on that. Did not score Hidden Archeo Vault and was not able to. I didn't do retrieve battlefield data because I tried going for the long bomb on that one. So now it's over to Lane's turn 3, and we'll see what these zombies can do.
Again, not a huge amount of movement. DJ has come to me so that I don't have to go to him, but brought back 4 Poxwalkers to this squad using the strat to bring them back. Just lined up shots here down into these breachers. See if we can make them go away. These dreads also touched into the plate here on the train, so they can see down there and either shoot those guys, or maybe even get us some characters in a minute here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But we'll be back after shooting. Shooting phase did a little bit of work, picked up these breachers, and then exposed the Dominus that was standing there. And my Dreadnought was able to fire his twin heavy bolter into him and pick him up. So we did finally score our first assassinate point. And that's really it, though, for the shooting. Not a whole lot getting done. But those breachers were annoying. So now these Plague Marines are going to charge the character down there, see if we can get him. Finish off these 2 models here. And then, of course, the Poxy is going to charge our robots over here and see if we can do some mortals to them. Typhus finally got to kill a couple of robots. The Poxwalkers did use a strat and did a bunch of mortals, but DJ also used a strat to give him a 4-up feel no pain to mortals. So I did pick up a couple of the robots this turn. Did some damage. Oh yeah, I did picked up 2 and got one of them down to 1 wound.
For now.
Then, Typhus himself did get himself down to 1 wound, so he's in trouble as well. Over here, on the other side of the table, these Plague Marines did pick up that character. So I got another assassinate points. That's good for scoring points and took this objective. Although I think DJ is still going to score really well in primary throughout the game. It's probably not going to make that much of a difference to him overall. But me getting assassinate points is good news. So that's it. Let's move over to DJ's turn.
So my primary goal with this army was trying to get that hidden Archeo Vault.
Oh.
This is going to be some trouble over here. He's still got like 40 or just on or like 35 somewhat odd Poxwalkers underneath there. So in order for me to get over there, I'm going to have to do a lot of work. And that work is going to start with getting these Plague Marines out of my corner first and getting these robots open back up to start moving through here. These Doritos are beating me up, and I don't really have too many good weapons to take care of them. So we're gonna have to figure something out with them. I moved the Vanguard out so I can shoot at some of these Plague Marines. And the last little infiltrator got himself to hide and take that objective. So he's safe. He's safe. The big scary disease didn't get him. So let's move into the shooting phase and see what we can't pick up. Robots are going to be in combat. Rangers can put a hurting onto the Plague Marines over here. So see what we can do. All right, so shooting and charge phase were kind of went hand in hand because there was like everyone did their own thing. The Rangers over here were able to pick up the Plague Marines and I just put all of them into it and said, get off my grass. And then over here, the Vanguard shot at the Plague Marines with enriched rounds, but really weren't able to do very much. It wasn't until Call charged in with the Data Smith that we really were able to pick those guys up. Now, the Vanguard also charged the Poxwalkers just to get a little more momentum across the field. And the Castellan robots were able to finish off Typhus and the last of the Poxwalkers. So good turn for scoring, good turn for AdMech. We got a nice little angle. We basically control the center, and it's just a matter of trying to push and get that hidden Archeo Vault. That's what's important to me, is that hidden Archeo Vault. And Lane is determined to break my heart tonight with that hidden Archeo Vault. So it's over to him and his turn 4. We're on turn 4 now?
Turn
yep,
4,
you went
top
first.
Of 4.
Top of 4.
All right, these guys are coming out to play. Poxwalkers are going to come and charge these Rangers here. We don't like them, and we want them to go away. We moved the Blight Hauler and these Plague Marines over, so they're actually closest to Call. If we want, we can start shooting at him, or we can shoot at these robots. The robots are a problem, but this Derideo is going to be doing some work into them, as well as these two, the Hellbrute and the Leviathan. So let's see if we can make the robots go away, get some more points on Assassinate, and hopefully get on another objective here. Hopefully when these Poxwalkers charge in, we take control of this objective. Good news, guys. No more robots.
No.
So all the Dreads were able to put their shots into them, clean them up. The Myphitic Blight Hauler tried to shoot Call, but just couldn't hit with anything. Crack missiles, multi-melts.
He has
nothing.
not been able to do it all game.
He's doing nothing. So he's going to charge Call, and maybe he'll be able to do some damage in fighting. I don't know. We'll see. And then we're going to do some charges here. So Poxies are going to charge into Warriors, Rangers, because we hate them. And then we'll see if we can put some swings on Call. Okay. So after years of having DJ reanimate onto objectives and take them away from me, I got to do it here because these Poxwalkers...
Such cheating.
It's just not fair.
Who would ever do that?
These Poxwalkers killed 12 of the Rangers, and I was able to bring them back and over onto this objective. And DJ killed a couple in return, failed the leadership. He's only got 5 left. So we're in good shape there, kind of taking over here. Got Call down to 4 wounds.
Yeah, he's going to heal.
Yeah.
He does that.
Yeah, he'll be all right. And then, DJ, I thought did we forget to have this guy swing?
No, he swung.
Okay.
He missed.
Okay.
Terribly.
All right. And then Derideo charged these guys just to give him a hard time and killed 1 or 2 of them. Yeah. They've done a couple of wounds. He's down to 9 wounds for some reason. But yeah, that's on to DJ's turn.
All right, not much from the entire AdMech turn to close out turn 4. Fell back with the Vanguard to get him in the building so I can get away from this crazy Dorito for stuff to do into turn 5. Tried to fight out this battle in the middle. Didn't work out well for me. Healed Call and then just got smacked by a Blight Hauler. Now it decides to hit me. And then fell back out of combat here to make Lane make some decisions. Other than that, not really too much to note. We're not getting that hidden Archeo Vault, it looks like. So we'll see what happens on T5. Going over to Lane.
All right, moving quickly here, guys. Basically, the Blight Hauler fell back. The Plague Marine moved over here so he could spread the sickness here. Spread the sickness is 4 points, so that's better than 3 points for the scan. So he's doing that. I need to get 2 more infantry models picked up. So these Poxwalkers are moving over here to charge into that building to get a couple Rangers. I'm at 98 for no prisoners. If I get 2 more, that takes me to 10, which is a bonus 2 points. So it's really
A bonus 1 point, isn't it? And
no.
you get the bonus.
Once you get 10, you get 2 bonus points. Once you get 5,
Oh, you get a
1.
total of 2 bonus
Total
points.
2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
total of 2. Okay.
Yep. So then what's going to happen is these dreads and this dread, we're going to shoot these here characters. Poxwalkers just moved out in case they needed to try to make a charge, but I don't think we'll need it. Much to DJ's surprise, Belisarius Call is not an infantry, despite the fact that he's larger than most dreadnoughts. He was very surprised to find out that he's a monster.
Yeah, I thought he was infantry. Not as surprised that he's a monstrous creature. Oh,
Yep.
Go figure.
So, anyways, he doesn't get cover, so I was able to shoot him a bunch.
So
and
he
make him
went
go away.
home. He got in a drop pod and left because things are not going according to plan for that. But we'll be back on if things went according to plan. How'd your turn go later?
Okay. So, and then I also killed Woods' cybernetic and data smith. Got him with the Poxwalkers. Didn't need to make the charge to get that. And then these Poxwalkers finished off the Rangers over here. So I will get up to 12 on no prisoners. So a good last turn. DJ's going to score a few points on the end here by trying to retrieve some battlefield data. And then we'll be back after his turn.
All right, so my turn is very, 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 very simple. Vanguard move out like this. So that means I take the objective. I will retrieve battlefield data, which will help my overall cause, because with that being said, I do still have this one little infiltrator hanging out back in here to keep those points for me. And my Manipulus is going to get out of there for the time being, which will leave us with it turned into a closer game than I expected. Well, than it seemed like off first, as the Death Guard were able to push me back. But in the end, the AdMech redeem their loss of last time with a final score. AdMech 67.
Nope, AdMech 77.
Oh, I'm sorry. AdMech 77.
Death Guard 74.
Death Guard 74. Guys, stay tuned for the post-match recap. We'll talk about this and what repercussions this means for the AdMech after facing off against Death Guard and winning, but not quite retrieving the Archeo Vault like we were hoping.